All right, so welcome to another crew interview. This time, Kama, who hasn't had a chance to do this yet, answers your questions. So first off, hello, Kama.
Hello.
Are you ready for lots of very interesting questions?
I am excited and ready.
Okay, so these questions were all submitted through the form. We had hundreds of questions. Some aren't going to make the cut. Some were asked a billion times. So in some cases, you may say, I asked the same question. Why didn't you say blah asked it? Well, there was hundreds of questions, so in some cases I took the first person that asked the question. So let's just jump right in. Kama has no idea what questions are going to be asked to him. So the first one is kind of, I'm not even going to give a person to this one because this was the question that is always asked by everybody, and that is, how did you join the crew?
Um, I pretty much got asked by the crew to join them after I was friends with the crew for a few months, like half a year maybe a bit more. And yeah, I mean, I was supportive all the time. I helped a lot without getting asked mostly sometimes, and yeah, then they just asked me.
Okay. All right. This question is from Emily, and it's hello, Kama. My question is, what first drew you to the crew?
Oh, um, I saw Minecraft as the new game, and I've watched videos of it, like tutorials and all that. And after that, I started searching for YouTubers that play Minecraft, and then I found the crew, and I really like their style of playing it.
Okay. Now she also asks, what's your favorite horror movie?
My favorite horror movie. Oh God, I would say Shaun of the Dead. Was it Shaun of the Dead? Dawn of the Dead, not Shaun. Yeah.
Not the comedy, but the Dawn of the Dead. Was that the one inside the shopping mall?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Next up, we have a question from Noah. And Noah asks, Kama, how old are you?
I am 24 years old.
One of the elder statesmen of the crew. All right. Next up, Dead Zombie 320 wants to know, Kama, where did you grow up and what was the best moment in your childhood?
I grew up in West Germany, which I'm still living in, and my favorite moment of childhood. Ooh, childhood was a bit ago, so just like hanging out with my friends. It was like the childhood, like having those games and the fantasy of being in a different dimension and all that. I had that since I was little, so
Okay. Very cool. All right. Next up comes a question from Rosie 997934. And she says, Hi, Kama. Is it hard to wash yourself when you have bandages around you?
um when I wash myself, I take those bandages off because, they need to get changed at some point too. I don't want to get them smelly or something, so I take them off, then I wash myself, and then there will be new bandages.
Okay. Seems pretty basic. Okay. Next up, and we're going to keep rocking through them because we have quite a few, is a question from Clubbin. And he asks, bacon, chicken, beer, or computer?
Um, oh God. Well, I can cross up here because I only drink on occasions, so I wouldn't mind if that goes. I would mind if bacon goes because I like chicken more. The problem now is between chicken and computer. I would like to have both if possible. But if I had to choose, I would choose the computer because I still have pineapples.
So you like pineapples.
Yes.
Now, is very seasonal for you, or can you get pineapples? I mean, do you like go for fresh pineapples, or do you like go for some other method?
I definitely would go for fresh pineapples first, but they are seasonal. Winter and autumn you can't get them here, so I have to get them in a tin can.
Ooh, is that very good or is that not very good?
They're good, but they're a bit sugary. That's my problem I'm having with them.
Yeah, okay. Did not know that. All right, next question comes from Ellie S. And she asks, what's your favorite thing about the crew?
Um, I would definitely say, I mean, not only the recordings itself, I mean, before the recordings, after the recordings, and in the recordings, obviously, the fun we have playing and just like being friends or even the family. I would go that far. It's, yeah, that's what I like about the crew.
Okay. All right, next up, question from Hunter. And he asks, what's your favorite game to play other than Minecraft?
Um, Isaac is one of them. I also love to play Pokemon games. I also love to play the Yu-Gi-Oh games and the cards itself, so plenty of games, definitely.
Okay. Now, you had to know this question was coming, and it's from Lola. And she wants to know, where did you come up with your username?
I pretty much randomly typed it and tried to have like vowel and a consonant next to each other all the time, and that's how I pretty much got my name. Later, I found out that this name actually exists.
And how does it exist? I mean, like where, from what?
Um, it's in an anime. It's from a character. It's his last name.
All right. Well, that's cool. That was kind of a nice coincidence for you. Could be good, could be bad,
Yeah.
I guess. Okay. Next up comes a question from Bryce Link. And he asks, have you ever had a near-death experience?
Yes, but I would rather not talk about it.
Okay. Fair enough. Quite a few of them inside Minecraft.
Yeah, definitely a few of them inside Minecraft.
All right. Next up comes a question from Ashton. And he says, comma, if you had to pick one show to watch for the rest of your life, what would it be? I think I know
It
your
would
answer.
be it would be Scrubs.
Yep. I mean, you pretty much have already put a lifetime into watching that, haven't you?
Yes, I've watched it a total of 8 times.
And you've watched not only the American, but you've watched the translated versions from different languages.
Yes, I watched it twice in German, 5 times in English, so the original, and I've even watched it once in Spanish.
Wow. That's dedication, people. Okay. Next up, question from James. Um, and the question is, what was your favorite mod the crew have done?
The favorite mod the crew has done was definitely Mo Creatures. Yes, because there are turtles in there.
Okay. Very cool. Okay, so our next question comes from, I think there's actually two questions, from Air 101003. What's the best thing you have ever done in Minecraft, with or without the crew?
Um, I have built so many things. I mean, the turtle builds I'm quite proud of. That's one of the best things I definitely ever made. I've also have made a giant magician's tower, and I'm quite proud of that too. But I would say the turtles are the best thing I've ever done in Minecraft.
Okay. Now, the second question is, what's the funniest moment in the crew, in your opinion?
The funniest moment. Oh, I think that's a question that might be answered in the funniest moments of the crew video. There's so many.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I kind of guess that's assuming too that you consider this year to have the funniest ever, or if there was like maybe one from the past, either before your time or during your time.
Yeah,
Because
the
obviously, like the lighting of Sarah, say, would be something that's already occurred and won't be voted on.
yeah, I mean that's definitely one of them. Giz rage quitting, Danny falling into a hole, the Whistler from DayZ, which I wasn't there, but I was in the channel. Um, but those are things, all of them are really funny, and I couldn't decide for a favorite.
Okay, fair enough. Okay, next comes a question from Lewis Todd. I am just wondering if you are a fan of the Lord of the Rings, the books and or film trilogy. And he also states you are awesome.
Thank you, and yes, I am a fan of the Lord of the Rings series. I've watched all three movies. I have The Hobbit here, which, kind of counts. I haven't watched it yet, though. I will.
Okay? All right, next up is a question from David VO Minecrafter. And you've kind of maybe touched on this a little bit, but maybe a little bit more detail. But is how did you start playing Minecraft, and did someone tell you about it, or basically how did you figure out about Minecraft and then start playing it?
It was my father actually. He showed me like a post on what Minecraft is, and he didn't like it. He absolutely hated it because he doesn't like the sandboxy games. But I saw it and was like, well, I give it a try, like I try with every game or thing I do, and I fell in love with it. So
Okay, very good. All right, next up comes a message or a question from Tanthera. What was your weirdest moment while being in the crew?
my weirdest moment was there was some weird moments. I mean, there was kind of the language barrier at the beginning where I didn't understand some of the words, and it was kind of weird for me hearing those words, especially from the people from the UK. They have other words than like people from America, so the differences and all that. So those are kind of weird moments for me if there's a word I don't know and I don't know what it means, and there are some words that I would think are like insults, and then I feel like insulted, and then I ask what it means, and it's just weird, the language barrier, but it's getting better now.
Okay. All right, next up comes a request, in a sense, from Julia W. And she would like you to demonstrate your German speaking abilities. So maybe
My German speaking abilities.
maybe think of something appropriate to say. That's more than just some quick like little you know hi, my name is comma, but something, and then tell us what you said after you do it.
Okay. What was her name?
Julia.
Julia, okay. Vielen Dank für die Frage, Julia. Mein Deutsch ist sehr gut. And what I said was, thank you for the question, Julia. My German is very good. Also in German again.
All right. Well, there you go. Some German spoke. Other than me imitating Germans mad at me for stealing their bus. Okay. Next comes a question from Lizzie Merrill. And the question is, what is your favorite part about Germany?
My favorite part about Germany. Well, I haven't seen the whole of Germany, so I can't really tell like complete review of it, kind of. But what I like here is that it's most of the time it's very quiet outside, so there's no outside noise. That's one of the good things because I have to talk and all that. Um, what else I like is we like to be very punctual, like on time, and that's something I really, really want to have and like too. So that's something about Germans, Germany. Yeah, those kind of things. Like I like it here.
Well, I mean that's important. That's a good thing. Okay, next up comes a question from Molly, and she wants to know, and you kind of talked about this a little bit already too, but comma, how hard is it speaking English since you are from Germany? Do you sometimes get nervous on mumble when you forget a word?
I don't really get nervous. I mean, sometimes, which I did quite often, when I didn't know what a word is and someone asked me a question, I Googled it as quick as I could. the German word for it and translate it into English so I know what to say. But I wouldn't say nervous or more embarrassed than nervous because I feel like I should know more, even if it's impossible to do so. But it it gets better. I mean, at the beginning I didn't understand very much, but now I do. So
All right, next up comes a question from the Jimmytron 500. And he asks, have you ever had that feeling of deja vu when you dreamt something and then it actually happened?
yes, more than once.
Any example that you can give or?
Um, there was one example I dreamt about some conversation my family and I had on at the kitchen table, and I think it was a month or so later that we actually had this conversation and was like, wait, I dreamt this, so I actually knew what to answer, so that was really good.
Comma is Nostradamus. All right, let's, and I'm assuming you know who Nostradamus is. If not, you can Google it.
Yes.
So, I could ask you that question again, and that would be kind of deja vu, but we'll move on. The next question comes from Abby1011 Lay, or maybe 101 Lay. What is your favorite type or types of music?
My favorite types of music. I can tell you what I don't like, and then you can just take the rest, and that's what I like. Um, I do not like boy bands. I don't like hardcore music or speedcore or any core. I also don't like jumpstyle, which was more popular in Germany, I think, and dubstep. I absolutely hate dubstep. The rest is okay.
Okay, very good. All right, here's a good one for you. Let's see if you got one for this. Frogman504 asks, "What is your embarrassing moment in the crew?"
Embarrassing moment. I think I had more than one, but I
Or
can't
maybe
really
your
remember
most one.
any. Um, I can't really remember any. I'm sure I had some. Is there anything I should be embarrassed about?
For the life of me, I can't really think of anything, but you know, others in the crew, I can come up with some really quick ones. But obviously, we won't go into those. But yeah, I don't know. I wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure I've done something, but I can't remember.
So we're going to have to, I guess, have a comma pause on that one. Maybe he'll come up with something and he can add it to the comments of the video later if something pops in his head. All right, next question comes from Katie. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go and why?
I would actually like to visit Japan because it's the land of anime, and I really love anime, and I would like to see some people there creating one, learning about the culture and all that. Also Egypt. Egypt is one of my lands I would like to go because, pyramids, mummies, and all that. I'm interested in that kind of stuff.
All right, very cool. That would be a nice one, maybe to have you get a picture taken near the one of the pyramids, and then superimpose your Minecraft character on top of you.
I'm not saying I told it was Egyptian.
All right. Next up comes a question from the great Zoblev. And he asks, if you and Giz were forced to survive on an island together, what would happen?
He would die
Any
because
quickly or?
at some point, he will annoy me so much because he will not stop that he will die on this island with me.
There you have it, Giz. Make sure you don't get in a situation where you're going to get stranded on an island. Comma. Okay, we have four more. Next one comes from Avon505. And it's comma, if you had to live with another crew member, who would it be?
Um,
I'm going
it
to
would,
go off on a limb here and say we know that it's not going to be Giz.
well, I mean, living with him is different than like being stranded on an island because when I would live with Giz, we would have different rooms, so I can go into my room, so I don't have to see him. But on an island, it would be different because an island is not big, um, depending on what island, of course. But it would be either Mario or Extra because I think I wouldn't say I'm closest to them, but we have similar hobbies and all, especially Extra and I. Um, I think we would get along good.
Okay, could be the start of like a new series there if they ever move in together. Okay, next up comes a question from uh, Cedric Dyson, and this one should be an interesting one for you. What are your top three favorite anime?
Top three favorite anime. On I answered that earlier to someone. Um, Now I need to remember what I actually said. My top three favorite anime are Yu-Gi-Oh, Soul Eater, and Death Note.
Okay, I've heard of Yu-Gi-Oh, but after that you lost me. Now, are those besides Yu-Gi-Oh, the other two, are they pretty mainstream, or are you looking more
Um,
like ones that are more maybe selective people with more selective taste?
Death Note is more of a mainstream one, but Soul Eater has a selective taste. I haven't met anyone. Well, I have met some people like in our fan group that like it, but not as much as like Death Note.
Okay. All right. Our second to last question comes from Carmen, and she asks, "Do you have any pets?"
Um, I don't have any pets, but our family has. We have one dog, two cats, and a few fish.
Okay. I can say that I don't think I've ever heard any noise from any of your pets while we record.
And that's because my door's closed, and they aren't actually loud as long as my parents are there.
All right. Our last question before I ask you a question, the ultimate question in these interviews. But this one comes from somebody named Piper Bunny. And she wants to know, can you dress up as a girl, please?
I could, but I wouldn't know why.
I wasn't sure if this was like, some inside joke, if
I
this
don't know
was
of any.
something about sisters, the finale thing spoof. I'm not sure.
Maybe I'm now allowed in Sisters after 100 episodes. Who knows?
Well, this could work for you. You could just show up, put on a dress, and there you are.
Yeah, but I mean, if it's in Minecraft, I would because it's just Minecraft. But I don't think I would, in real life. No, no.
All right, fair enough. That's a fair answer. Okay, now you know how these have gone in the past. At
Mhm.
the end of the interview, the question that really gets asked to the person who's being interviewed is who should be interviewed next, and then receive questions from the fans. So, Kama, take it away.
I would really like Lizzie to be interviewed.
All right, well, there you have it. She hasn't gone yet, so we may start repeating people now also, but Lizzie is ready for your questions. So, in the description of this video, there's a link. Submit your questions, and we'll give you about a week, and then I'll sift through them and pick the best ones, and then I'll ask Lizzie all your questions, and then, of course, she'll pick somebody to be interviewed, and we'll continue to the process. We figure it's been long enough that it makes sense to maybe re-interview crew members because some people would like to hear more from all the crew and also be able maybe to ask more pertinent questions that they have now. So, Kama, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
And big thanks to everybody who submitted questions. We really appreciate it. So, Kama, if you want to say goodbye, we will head out.
Bye.